ARM Consult. What we do is that we do everything, application abroad, USA, Canada, Europe, everywhere. We try to help people make their applications. So thank you once again for joining. I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and then we start the process. One thing I'm going to do, or the layout of the program, is that we would talk about why graduate school. We are also going to talk about the things or the requirements for graduate school, what you should do. Then I will take you through a step-by-step process of applying for a school. We are going to use Georgia Southern as an example. We will go through the process. Hopefully, we will finish everything today. I'm just going to show you step by step what you need to do. If there are questions or answers that you need to provide, how to answer those questions. We are going to go through that step by step. So this is kind of like a practical something. It's not just me talking. Okay. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen now. If you can see my screen, just see my screen. Oh, who is working on my? So, as I said, we are talking about graduate school application. And why would anybody want to go for graduate school? You went for bachelor's, maybe you are working, you are not working. So, why do you need to go back for school? Or why do you need to go back to school to learn? Then, one of the two main reasons why people go back to school to learn is because they want to specialize in what they've already done in their bachelor's. They want to gain some specialization, they want to gain some expertise in what they are doing or what they've already done. For example, you are a nursing student, you want to specialize in pediatrics, you want to specialize in emergency medicine, you go back for a graduate education so that you can do that. Others also do it because they want to get their career, they want to advance in their career. There's an opportunity for promotion at work, so they want to advance, they want to go to school, get that degree so that they can meet that criteria for the advancement in their destiny, their work. And others too is just because they want to travel out of the country, they want to leave the country. So they use education as a form of um, way to live. So they will come to school, they would finish the school, then they start to work here and then find means and ways to stay in the country. So these are the main reasons why people tend to go for graduate education. And I believe that everybody here falls under one of these categories. So, in starting your graduate application, when you make up your mind that I want to start my graduate school, what are the things that you should be looking at? You should be looking at your interests and your goals. Is it something that you are doing because you want to specialize? Is it something you are doing because you want to advance, you want to get a promotion? That's why you are going for this graduate program. You should look at all those things, your interests, how the program is going to align with your education or with your background or with your work. How is it going to do that? What interests do you have? You should be looking at all those things before you start to apply for schools or to start to search for schools. So example I have placed there is this one is about criminal justice from Georgia Southern University. So let's say you studied political science and you want to go for criminal justice and you feel like Georgia Southern is the right place for you. This is an example of how you will know that your curriculum, your what the program offers aligns with your interests. They said over here that the curriculum cultivates analytical and research applicable to various roles like community advocate. So is this something that you are going to do to become a community advocate? Is this something you want to do to become a corrections officer? Corrections officer here is just like a prison officer, a prison guard, or anything like that. Or you want to go and study criminal justice so that you become a cyber security investigator. So these are the things that you need to look at. What do they offer in the program? So at the end of the program, what can I use the degree to do? This is what it is telling you. This is what it's going to tell you. You see it from the program website where they describe the program for you. They will describe what they do and what they hope at the end of the day you achieve. Now, after you have asked yourself if this program aligns with your interests, the next thing that you have to do is you have to research the programs. The reason you are doing that is to understand the requirements. Is it something that I meet? Do I need to do something to qualify for those requirements? You also do your research to understand what kind of funding is available for me. So in understanding those things, you have to look at the program reputation and accreditation. Yesterday, I talked about accreditation. There's many programs that you need to have accreditation, like the school needs to have an accreditation. For example, if you are going for public health, there's an accreditation board. When I say accreditation, it's a body or a board that will tell you that this program that you are offering, yes, we endorse it. The government of USA endorses it. The government of Canada endorses it. And at the end of the program, you can use that degree to work. That is what accreditation means. So you have to know that this program that I'm going to do they have accreditation? Do I need to have an accreditation? What is the reputation of the program? Do they, the students who graduate from those schools, where do they work? Do they even work at all? Do they do research? You have to find out about that. Is it a new program? Did they just start 6 months ago, 1 month ago? Look at those factors and look at the accreditation. If they tell you that this school is accredited, ask them which organization, which body has accredited them. If they tell you the name of the accreditation or the name of the accreditation board, you go to the accreditation board's website, then you go and search for the school. So let me use Nigeria as an example. Let's say you are going to study nursing in a school. The accreditation board is the Nigerian Nurses and Midwifery Association. They are those who are going to accredit the school. So if the school tells you that, yes, we have an accreditation from Nigerian Nurses and Midwifery Association, you go to that website, then you find out the schools that they have accredited or they've given accreditation to, and the kind of accreditation that they have given. Is it a provisional accreditation? Is it a full board accreditation? Is it 6 months? Is it 1 year? You have to look at all those things because they all affect the kind of degree you are going to have and what you are going to use your degree to do at the end of the day. If they have 6 months accreditation or 1 year accreditation and you are going for a 2 year program, it means that by the end of the 2 years, they may not have any more accreditation. That means that your degree you have gotten is not accredited. So you should be looking at all these factors before you choose a school. Then you also need to look at the faculty. Which people are teaching in this school? Are they people who have done research? They don't need to be known worldwide, okay? But then these people, have they done any form of research? Are they doing research? What are they doing? Where did they school? You need to ask yourself all those questions about the faculty expertise. What are their interests? Interest is very important. Is it what's okay? The school is doing this program, you like it, but then the faculties are doing different research and your interest doesn't align with that. Would you still want to go there? So you have to find out about that. And then research opportunities. Do they have centers? Do they have places? Do they listen with other companies, other governing bodies that you can do research there? If you are going for, I'm going to be using public health a lot, so bear with me. For example, you are going to study public health, right? And you know that you want to do this kind of research. Is it something that a faculty member in that school is doing that you can join? And if that faculty member is doing that, do they have a center? Do they have a research center that you can join? Are they working with government agencies like, let's say, for example, Georgia Department of Public Health? Are they working with them? Are they working with a particular hospital? If you are going for nursing, Are they working with a hospital that you can go there for your practicals? If you are doing something in engineering, do they have a body? Do they have an engineering company, or a, like, let's say an automobile company that you can go there and do an internship or do a research with them? You should have all these things in place. You should know about all these things before you choose a school. Then another thing that matters is the alumni success. When you complete this school, where are you working? So those who completed this school, those who went for this program in this school, where are they working? For example, here in Georgia South, in my department, I know people who are working with Georgia Department of Public Health. I know people who have gone ahead to do their postdoc in Harvard University. I know people who are working with Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So alumni success, what are they going to do? If they've been graduating, but then nobody is working anywhere, it's not a good thing that you should join. It's not a school that you should join. So you should be looking at these factors. You should consider these factors before choosing a program. Then, after you have chosen all these, you have looked at all these factors, then you need to prepare yourself for admissions. And what does that mean? You have to get your transcripts, and in your transcripts, your GPA or your CGPA, does it align with what the school wants? A school will tell you that on the average, they want a GPA of 3.0. Is that the GPA you have, or you have more than that? Do you have less? If you have less, what do you need to do? You have to look at this factor before you start your application. Then your CV. We have different types of CV. I may not be able to mention all the types of CV that we have, but then there are a lot of them. So now, as a student applying to a school, what you need to have is an academic CV. Academic CV. You don't need to use your work CV. And in your CV, you don't need a picture, you don't need your date of birth, you don't need your marital status, you don't need your religion, you don't need references on it. You can put your references on a separate sheet. But then on the academic CV, your picture is not important. Nobody wants to see you. Nobody needs to know about your date of birth. They don't need to know about your marital status. They don't need to know if you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a traditionalist. They don't need to know. Take those things off. So for those of you who still have this thing in your CV, please take them off. And another thing is that your CV should not be multicolored, like rainbow. No, you don't need to have a rainbow colored CV. It should be plain, white and black. 12 font size, Times New Roman, justified. Then you write your CV. What your CV should entail should be your name, your address, your email, your phone number, the kind of program you did, the research interests you have, what you did for your undergraduate thesis, the topic of your undergraduate thesis, who supervised you, any program that you did or any courses that you did that is relevant to what you are going to study. So, for example, when I say relevant courses, what I mean is that, let's say you studied nursing and you want to go and do public health. During your undergraduate, you may have studied community health, you may have done biostatistics, you may have done environmental health, you may have done nutrition. These are important to, and they align with what you want to do. So you need to let the admissions office know that, yes, I've done these courses. So it should be on your CV. Your supervisor who supervise your work, whether it's a project work or a thesis, that person's name should be there. The thesis topic should also be there. Then we come to your work experience. Your experience should be from the present one to the last one. So it should start from, if you started any work from 2020 to present, that should be the first. Then you bullet and tell us what your role was when you started, where the company is located, where the name of the company. Then you give us 4 duties that you perform over there. Then it goes like that. Then you also talk about your voluntary or any leadership roles you've taken. If you've not done any voluntary work, I would encourage you and tell you that you should start now. What you need to do in your voluntary, it doesn't mean that, yeah, you have to get a place or you have to get a big place, a big, how do I say it, a big establishment before you do your voluntary work. No, if you're in your church and you studied nursing, you can just gather all the old women or all the old men in your church and be teaching them diabetes. You'll be teaching them about hypertension. You'll be teaching them what they should eat, what they should do. This is a form of voluntary work. Or you can gather all the youth in your church. You'll be talking to them about STIs, sexually transmitted disease, what they should do. You can talk about family planning. This is a form of voluntary work. Or even in your community, let's say you were taught mathematics or you did something in mathematics. You can gather all these children in the community, teach them mathematics, basic maths. Every weekend you are teaching them. This is also a form of voluntary work that you can put on your CV. So you don't always need to get a big company. Around you, in your surrounding, you can do something, or you are working and you know how to use, let's say, SAS, or you know how to use SPSS, you know how to use any computer skills. You can teach your colleagues. This is another form of volunteering. You don't need a big place to teach anybody what volunteering is. Then we talk about the recommendation letter. Recommendation letter mostly is 3 letters or more. And this should be people that can speak of your academic and professional abilities. I am repeating it. This should be people that can speak of your academic and professional abilities. Simple as that. So I advise people that when you're getting a recommendation letter, get 2 from where you studied for your undergraduate or your master's. You went to University of Lagos, you went to University of Ghana. Get 2 from your professors over there. Let them recommend you. Let them talk about your academic abilities. One person can talk about your coursework, another person can talk about the research you've done and other extra curricular activities that you've done. Then you get 1 from where you are working. Your boss, your manager can write you a recommendation letter to talk about your teamwork, to talk about your communication skills, to talk about how you accept criticism, what you do, how you're able to solve issues, like your critical thinking abilities. Sorry, your critical thinking abilities. Your manager should talk about that. So the letter should be diverse. 3 people talking about 3 different things. Your sister, your mother, your father, your grandfather, your uncle, they cannot recommend you. Even if you are working for them, they cannot recommend you. Your friend cannot recommend you. Your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, they cannot recommend you. The person, anybody who recommends you should be a professional person, like your lecturer, as I said, your boss. It can be your pastor at church. If you are a pastor in your church, you cannot recommend yourself. You are a pastor, but then you have a head. If you don't have a head, somebody else must recommend you. And as I said, your family members cannot recommend you. Your friends cannot recommend you. And your recommendation letter should be on a letterhead. I know by now we all know what letterhead is. If it's not on a letterhead, it should be signed. It should have a stamp in addition to it. Then the letter should talk about you. It should be addressed to the admissions committee. They should have their email, their phone number on the letter. And they should talk about the program you are going to do. It's not like writing, I am writing to recommend this person. This person is this. No. For example, I am writing to recommend ARAM Consults for a master's program at Georgia Tech University. Then they talk about you, why this program would benefit you, why you are a great fit for the program. These are the things that they should be talking about. Then they tell us what their experiences with you was. I have known this person for 5 years, and I can say this about this person. during my time or during the time I've known her in this capacity as a student and I was her lecturer. This is how a recommendation letter should be. Then we are going to talk about writing sample. When you hear writing sample, it's the same as the thesis or the project work that you did during your undergraduate or your master's program. What you did. If you wrote about diabetes, if you wrote about hypertension, anything you wrote about, sorry guys, anything you wrote about should be your should be what you produce as your writing sample. Excuse me. Sure. Anything that you wrote about should be your writing sample. But then take note, some schools will tell you that your writing sample should not be more than 20 pages or it should not be more than 10 pages. So what if your thesis has like 100 pages, you have to compress everything to 20 pages or you have to compress everything to 10 pages. If it's more than that, they are not going to read. So take note, if they tell you that produce a writing sample, then you read, you understand that this writing sample should be 10 pages, it should be 11 pages, it should be 20 pages. Then you produce it to them. Then another one is the prerequisite courses that you have to check. You are going for masters in public health. You studied engineering. Okay, what courses do I need to take when I start this program? Prerequisite courses are taken during your master's program. So let's say you studied engineering, you want to do biostatistics, and you've not done calculus, you've not done all this mathematics and all those kind of things. You have to take them as you are taking your master's program courses too. So let's say your colleagues are taking like 3 courses per semester. You may be taking 4 or 5 or 6 because you have to meet up with those prerequisite courses. So ask yourself or ask from the admissions committee, search about it. Do you need to take any prerequisite courses? Are you ready to do that before you apply? Because you may apply, you come to the school and you'll be like, I didn't know about this. Maybe they have said it, or maybe you should have asked and you didn't ask. So please find out about the prerequisite courses that you need to do. Then the standardized test. There are certain schools and there are certain programs that you cannot say you are not going to write GRE or GMAT. Example is computer science, artificial intelligence. There are certain programs in MBA that you need to write GRE or GMAT. So find out, is it compulsory to write? Can they waive it for me? I want to go to this school. Or everything about this school tells me that I can do well here. Ask the admissions committee, is this something that you can waive for me? Sorry. Is this something that you can waive for me? Do I need to write it? What if I don't do it? Is there any consequence at the end of the day for me? These are things that you need to ask about. And also another one is TOEFL. So some schools would demand for TOEFL, but others will tell you that if you're a Ghanaian or if you're from an English-speaking country or you studied throughout your undergraduate or throughout your schooling years and the language of instruction was English, then you are waived. So you need to know all these things before you start the application. Then you ask yourself, are they going to demand for an evaluation of my transcripts? If they are demanding for an evaluation, what body are they asking for? Because there are many bodies that are evaluating transcripts nowadays. We have WES, we have NACES. You have to ask the school or you have to read from their website that what evaluation body do you want so that you use that. But let's say you've already evaluated your transcripts, right? And you are applying and the school is demanding for evaluation from another school. You write a letter and tell them that this school excuse my language, but sorry, this school or this program that I'm applying to, I have already done my evaluation with this body. Are you still going to take it? And most schools are going to take it. So you need to ask them. You need to find out from them that are they taking it, or do I need to do a different one, or will you waive it for me? These are the questions that you need to ask and prepare yourself before you start your application. And this is also an overview of what a CV or a resume should have. As I said, it should be an academic CV. It should have, if you've done any internships, yes, internships are important. If you've written any publication, like for those of you going for PhD programs or going for some master's program, they will ask you if you've done publication. So if you have any publication, you add it to your CV, and it should be in APA format, APA edition 7 format. That is how you write your publication reference in APA edition 7 format. Now we come to what, as you are done with everything and you know that, yes, I'm ready to apply to this school, the next thing that you need to do is writing your statement of purpose. This is one of the ways that admissions committee can connect with you. They can know more about you. They can know where you are coming from, where you are going, and what you want to do. This is a place where you tell them why you are a best fit for the program. So this is you pouring at yourself. You are not there to defend yourself when they are making their decisions. So you have to use your statement of purpose to defend yourself. The first thing you need to do when writing a statement of purpose is that you need to make sure you are using a Times New Roman. Your font size should be 12, your alignment should be justified, and your statement of purpose should not be more than 3 pages, not more. Some will even tell you that your statement of purpose should be 500 word pages, like 500 words. So it's like 1 page, not more. The highest you can go should be around 1,000 words or 1,500 words. If it's more than that, it's boring. They are not going to read. It's repetition. You will be repeating yourself in your statement of purpose. The first thing you need to tell them is about your interest. And statements of purpose come in different ways. You can write it starting any way. So for me, I like to tell a story. I like to tell people, or I like to write it in a way that tells about my background or what led to my interest. For example, you are going to study for geography, right? And you live in a community where there is always a flooding event. So you told them, yeah, in my community, there's always a flooding event. And one major thing happened that made me feel like, okay, well, now I want to go and study geography. I want to study about landscapes. I want to study about water this so that I can help my community. This is you introducing your interest. What made you, what told you that you should go and study for geography? Or you are next, and then you one day you heard that your friend got anemia. She was very pale. There was nobody to nurse her. So because of that, it sparked your interest. Or you met a nurse that gave you one injection and you couldn't walk again. So yeah, this is why you are interested in studying for nursing or studying for public health. Maybe there was cholera in your community and you saw that there were public health interventions. So this is what sparked your interest. Or this COVID-19 that just passed. COVID-19 happened, everybody was in their rooms, but nurses were working, doctors were working. Yeah, then you heard about public health personnel. So you ask yourself, what is public health? You read about it and you're like, this is something I want to do. You get it? So these are ways to write statements of purpose. What led to your interest? Or you want to study for computer engineering. One day you went to school. All your life you were in the village going to school. You didn't know what computer was until one day you came to your auntie's house. Then you saw a computer. So that was what sparked your interest. There are different ways to write statements of purpose. Just think. I will start thinking, what can I say? What can I produce? What interest in my surrounding? What was my experience? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. Then you start something. Then you talk about your academic background, how your interest made you go into this program. So from this program, when you were in this program, what are the things you did? Did you volunteer for any other things? What courses did you find interesting? You can talk about those things. Did you take any leadership position whilst you were in school? You talk about them. Then your research experience. Maybe you did a research with someone, or during the time you were doing your thesis, you found out about this, so you went to you dive deeper into it. You talk about it. Then what you want to produce, like your career goals and how this program is going to help you. Maybe you want to do a thesis in this, and you feel like when you work with this kind of professor. So in your statement of purpose, always make sure that you mention about professors that you have talked to and their work is of interest to you. Make sure to talk about them in your statement of purpose. So for example, in my during my time, or when I come to school, I'm going to be doing this research in HIV and AIDS among LGBTQ. And this professor, Dr. Aram Consort, like let me just say Aram Consort. So Dr. Aram Consort works in HIV and AIDS, aligns with my professional and career goals. I want to work with her using this method and this kind of computer skills to do that. Equally, I'm also interested in Dr. Tinubu's work. Just bear with me. Dr. Tinubu's work in career development, this. So you talk about these people, anybody that you've spoken to, and their research is of importance to you, is something that you feel like you can do. You talk about them in your statement of purpose. Then you tell us at the end of the program, what do you want to do? At the end of the program, do you want to go for a PhD? At the end of the program, do you want to take up a lecturing position? Do you want to take up a lecturing position in US, in your home country? What do you want to do at the end of the day? You talk about that. And even when talking about your career goals, are you going to be connecting with other people who have also gone through the program to do some work? Are you going to be working with government agencies to make sure that these policies are okay? Like, what do you want to do? And why the program? Is it the location of the program? So for me, when I was writing my statement of purpose for Georgia Southern, one of the things that I emphasized on is that this school is located in a rural setting, not like rural, but then kind of rural setting, and that working in a rural setting is what I am interested in. So this program is the best fit for me. This kind of centers in this school can help me in my during my time in school. So is it because of the location? That's why you want to study this program? Is it what they are offering? Is it the curriculum? Is it the lecturers? Or is it the diversity? You can talk about, yeah, you are going to meet a lot of people from Ghana, China, Ukraine, everywhere. So the diversity of the program, that's why you want to study. So these are things that you need to talk about in your statement of purpose. I've already talked about recommendation letters. As I said, your parents, your family members cannot recommend you. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife cannot recommend you for any school. It has to be somebody who can speak of your professional and academic abilities. Then, so now we are going to do a practice. And as I said, we are going to use Georgia Southern. But then before then, if you have any questions that you want to ask me, I am ready. Let me answer a few questions. Then we go. Let me see. Just joining. Amaka Blessing, you say you cannot hear me. Okay, I'm taking some questions from Zoom. If you have any question, those in the Zoom, you can ask me. I'm taking some from Facebook as well. Yeah, we'll post the screen soon. Okay, so I'm going to talk about WES evaluation. So, as I said, there are many evaluation bodies available now. It's not just WES, we have NACES and other ones too. So, with evaluation, what happens is that the kind of scale we use back home, in whether in Ghana or in Nigeria or anywhere, is not the same scale that is used here in the States. That is why you need to do an evaluation of your transcript. So, in doing that, first you have to know which body that the school wants you to do the evaluation from. When you know that about the school, the body, you create an account with this body. So you type the name, like for example, WES. You type World Education Services. You go and create an account with them. You fill out the application. You pay the amount involved. When you pay, they are going to give you a reference number, and that reference number you will send it to your university. You tell them that you want them to send your transcript to this school. So they would take the reference number from you and then attach your transcripts and send it to the school. So you cannot get that transcript. You are not the one going to have the transcript. The school has to send it to the evaluation body. The moment you have the transcript, it becomes unofficial transcript. They are not going to use it. So your school has to send it to them. And sometimes, I don't know why, but then in Africa, it takes a long time for these schools to respond or to send your transcripts. So I always advise people to start early. Start it very early and pressure them, put pressure on them that please send my transcript. Please send it. Every day, call them and tell them that they should send your transcripts, and they are going to do that. So when they send their transcripts, we're to evaluate it, and then we'll send the evaluation reports to the schools that you are applying to. So that is that for um WES evaluation. So let me start. So it's actually easy to search for schools. Okay, you just go to Google, you type in the name of the school, then voila, it will pop up. So this is Georgia Southern University. Again, free application month. So try and apply. So this is a site. You go to Google, you get Georgia Southern University. You click on the admissions. It's going to take you to this place. So when you are here, you have to go for graduate admissions. Then the first thing you do is you click on your academics and then graduate programs. This is where you find the graduate um, programs column. Okay, now. So these are the programs that are being offered, the location, and then the level. So we have accounting, they offer it on campus and online. So the one you want to join, then you can do that. So we are going to use, let me see. Okay, let's use environmental science. You go to apply now. If you want to see the screen, you have to join the Zoom. So when you come to apply now, you create an account. So let's say sample, sample, then demo. I'm going to use a right email. So I'm creating an account now. then birthday, let's just say July 13, 1999. So we click on create an account. Okay, so they have sent a link to my email for me to log in. So now I'm going to go to my email. So when creating an account, you need your email address to do that and your date of birth. Mm. If your Zoom is having a network issue, don't worry. We are going to post it on Zoom. Sorry, on YouTube for you to see. So as you can see, we have the login details here with a pin. So I'm going to copy this pin. Then we log in. Wow. Okay. I already have an account, so it says I can log in. Let's just go there. Start new application. Create an application. So this is what we are going to do. So now these are the instructions. You need to be reading them very carefully. Read about it before you start. And you can see here that they said application fee will be waived from 1st February to 29th. Then you read about all these things. It's not what we are interested in. We are interested in how to do that. So this is a consent something, your geographical location. We are not located anywhere around here, so we click on no. So the first thing we need to do is write a name. Let's say sample. Then our last name will be demo. So let's say we are using Nicaragua region. I'm just trying to do anything, okay? XXX. So one thing is that they are going to ask about your postal code information, when it is valid, and all those kind of stuff. You just need to put certain things there, and then you go your way. You do your sex, where you are located. Ask questions. This is like a personal or a bio data about you. You do that. Then you select a program you're applying to. Have you ever taken or registered for courses here? We've not done that, so we click on no. Select student type. You're a graduate student. What program are you applying to, or the college? So there are different colleges here that you want to apply to. Let's just choose behavior and social sciences. Then you talk about the kind of degree you want. So we have criminal justice. There are a lot of different degrees here. They have, and another thing that you should know is that they have non-thesis, and then they have thesis work too. Thesis work is you writing like a thesis proposal and defending it. Non-thesis, you are going to do a capstone and then you are done. Choose one program. Is going to ask a few questions, the campus you want to do, the term you are applying. Is going to ask about your military status, if you're a military man or anything. You're not a Georgia resident, you've never attended Georgia Southern University. If you are interested, yeah, you click on it, and then you read about the eligibility if you qualify. So let's read that one. we'll go back to the application again. So in this place, they are going to talk about teaching assistantships, research assistants, lab assistantship. You read on them and find out which one you feel like you can qualify for. And the best thing about this thing is that they are going to tell you the number of assistantships that are available for 2024. It is updated every month, I think. So you can read about it. This is some for 2024 and others for 2023. They are going to be updating it every time. So you can see that there are many assistantships. Sometimes they are more than this. You can see from here that there are more than this kind of ones we have here. So let's go back. You read on your assistantships and the eligibility. Are you interested in the army? To be in the army, you have to be a US citizen or a permanent resident. So you are not interested. Have you participated in this? No, you've not done that. You've not done that. So you click on continue. I want to show you something on the. So these are questions about if you've been a criminal before, you have any criminal charges against you. You have to be truthful, okay? Because they are going to find out. If you don't have them, you just click no. Then you move and go. So this is going to ask you about how you heard about the program. Let's say alumni, you continue. That one. So over here, the kind of the institution that you attended, right? So let's say you're adding institution. If your school is not located in US, you just choose, let's say Ghana, let's say Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame. So no match found. You just put in N/A. Oh, who's gonna? So click on no match found. There's a way to do that. I would do that again. The time you attended the school and the time you completed, let's say you started November 2017, you completed in October 2019, the level you studied undergraduate, your major, the name of your major, let's say nursing, your GPA, what is your overall GPA? So is it, let's say 3.00 on a 4.0 scale? And English is the primary. So when you click on English being the primary language, it means that you are not going to produce TOEFL. Then you can upload your unofficial transcript over there and then you save it. City is required. Okay. Let's say Accra. It's going to save that for you. Then so this part is for economic students. So that's what I mean. If you are going for economics and you've not done any of this, then you'll be required to take these courses when you start your program. So let's just continue. You upload your resume, you upload your statements of purpose. Now let's go to recommendations. So the recommendations is what I want to show you something on. So in adding your recommendation, your recommender, sorry, you need to know their name, their first name, their last name, the organization. Is it a school? If it's a school, what is the name of the school? The position they hold in the school? Are they lecturers? Are they professors? Their relation to Excuse me? Okay. The relationship they have with you, the telephone number, then their email. So with their email, this is where the email that you send is very important. Note what they have said over here. They said use your recommender's institutional or corporate email address. Submissions from anonymous email addresses, for example, Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, may be subjected to additional review. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why it is important to get their institutional email address. If it's a school like Kwame Nkrumah University, then it's going to be eramconsult@knust.edu. If the person recommending you is a lecturer, that is the email address you need to be using. If the person is, like if it's a corporate work or something, it should have the like a professional email. So I'm reading it again. It says that use your recommended institutional or corporate email addresses. Submissions from anonymous email addresses like Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo may be subjected to additional review. Then you have a message that you want to give to your professor. Let's say, hello, Professor Adom, I need you to recommend me for this. Thank you for recommending me. Then you sign up. When you are done, you have to, so there are two things. You can either waive your right to access the report, or you don't waive your right. Let's say I do not waive my right. It means that when they put in the recommendation letter, you can see it. But why would you want to see what they have written? You have to trust them in the first place to tell them to recommend you for admissions. So if you don't trust them, don't send them a mail. And the advice I will give you is that always make sure you waive your rights. Don't say that you don't waive your rights. There's no need to look at what they've written for you. You trust them. That's why you want them to recommend you. So always waive your right to access the recommendation letter they have written. When you are done, you sign your name, then you submit. When you submit it, it's going to go to their email and tell them that this person wants to recommend you for admissions. That way, when they get the email, they are going to log in and then recommend you. So you sign your ANA code. You sign that everything that you've written is true. Everything that you've said is true. You review, then you submit. That is what is done. So this is very, very simple. It's not any big thing. You can do it yourself with your phone, with your laptop. Anything you have, you can use that to do your application. Thank you guys very much. If you have any question, I'm here. You can ask me. Oh, you couldn't see my screen?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Aaron. Good evening.
Evening.
Yes, how are you? I'm Lillian.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm Lillian. Please. I wanted to ask a question. I tried applying, but along the way, I was told that unless I do evaluation, I am a nurse by profession. I did a certificate before doing the top up. So, along the way, a colleague told me that unless I do the evaluation before I should continue. Otherwise, most of the school would demand evaluation. Since I did a 2-year certificate and 3-year BEC, BSc.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried applying to Indiana University. Now I'm confused. In their request, on their request, they didn't request for any evaluation. So I don't even know how if I should pay for the admission fee and submit my evaluations right now.
So you need to email the graduate coordinator and ask them, do you need to provide an evaluation for your transcript?
Oh,
Yes. So send them an email this evening, schedule it for tomorrow. By tomorrow morning, they'll see it and then reply.
okay.
But so you guys didn't see my screen, no?
Please, is that?
I'm just asking everybody in the Zoom. Did you guys see my screen?
Yeah. It's on.
Bless, Raphael, did you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we saw it.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I saw a hand up. Eleke, I'm sorry if I'm not mentioning your name right. But Eleke, I see your hands is up.
Yeah.
Please, do you have any question? You can unmute yourself and answer.
Okay. Thank you. I've been following you. I'm your silent follower on Facebook. There was
Okay, thank you.
information. Yeah, there was information
We
you
can't hear
posted
you.
on Facebook concerning a bus test. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah. Can you
Yes.
hear me now? Okay.
Yes, we
Yeah,
can
you
hear you.
posted concerning Ball State University at
What
Indiana.
university?
So Ball State
Okay.
University, Indiana
Okay.
Metropolis, I think something like that. So I followed up when you posted concerning a live session, application waiver and so on. So I joined the live session. They waive the
Mm-hmm.
application. So then I'll be able to have applied. But where I'm stuck now is transcript evaluation, NAS or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah. Then transcript, SOP, and CSV. That's what you meant to submit so that my application will be complete. So that NAS evaluation, is there no way they can waive it? Is it a must to do it?
So some schools actually can waive it, okay? But you need to contact them
So,
and ask them if you can apply with your unofficial transcript. So if they are able to accept that, they will let you know that yes, we can accept your unofficial
another
transcript.
question I want to ask
Mhm.
concerning the SOP stuff. I've been trying to. Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes,
Can
I
you hear
can hear
me?
you. Yes.
All right. Concerning the SOP, I've been trying to sort my own out. I don't know if you can assist to review it, or if you can render your service in helping me to write. I'll be so grateful. I
So
don't know,
first of all,
or
you
if
can
there's
what
anybody you
what
can.
program are you applying to?
I'm applying for, although my background was in finance, but I'm applying for public admin. Although I send email to the graduate school whether with my background if I can apply for public admin. So they replied to me that I can apply. So
Okay.
that was it.
Mm. So you can send me a message on Messenger for that. We will talk about that. Okay. But then in crafting the statements of purpose, look at your surroundings. What made you interested in the program you want to go for? Or is it something you heard in the news that made you feel like you want to do this program? Or maybe because we are moving or technology is developing very fast, you feel like this program you are going to do will come in hand in the next 5 years. Do you get it? So these are the things that you should be looking at. But then you can also send me a message on Messenger. Then we talk more about that. Raphael,
Okay, thank you. I'm just
welcome. Raphael, you can unmute yourself and talk.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, my bad. My phone's camera is not working, so I think I can speak without the camera if you're okay.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay. Concerning Georgia Southern University, it seems they require how do you call it, transcript evaluation. Yeah, so I wanted to ask if in these cases you can write to them and they can waive it. Maybe you can provide your official or unofficial transcript to them without evaluating it with WES and that other evaluation companies, if it's possible.
Yeah, so you have to send them a mail. They
Okay.
have policies, okay? So
okay.
the thing is, when you send them the mail and they agree, then what will happen is that they are going to use your unofficial transcript to give you a conditional or a provisional admissions offer.
Okay.
So when you have the offer, then they will tell you it's either you still evaluate your transcripts at the end of the day because you have an admissions, or that you send them your official transcript. You let your school.
Okay.
Then so it depends on the kind of policies they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Okay. Not
Yes,
really,
ma, I have
please.
a
I think.
Emiliana.
Yes, ma. Okay,
Okay.
thank you so much for the training, ma. Okay, what I just wanted to ask is, since I have a background in biological science and biotech, and I'm switching to doing my MBA, do I need to get, like, can I get 2 recommendations from my place of work and 1 from school, or I should get 2 from school? Because if I'm getting it, like, that's on based on my biological background. So I'm thinking, is it to get 2 from my place of work and 1 from school?
Yeah, so it doesn't, with recommendation letters, it doesn't mean that it should always be 2 from your school, okay? It can be 1 from your school, 2 from where you are working, or 1 from your school, 1 from where you are working, another 1 from your pastor, or anybody who like is in high authority to give you that evaluation. So it's not like all the time it has to be 2 people like from your school. You can mix it up. Just that there are certain people that cannot recommend you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Any question? And I've seen I tried applying to Lincoln University, California for MBA, but their page states I should upload my sponsor statement of account. But I have more than 1 sponsor. What should I do? So you have to write a letter and state what's your relationship with each sponsor. If one of the sponsors is your father, you state the relationship with the person and the assets they have, the amount of money in their bank accounts. If the other one is your boss, you state that this person is my boss, they are going to support me with this amount, this is the assets they have. So it's all about writing a letter and letting each of them sign. All your sponsors sign that yes, and then they can also add their bank statement to it, or they can write a letter and attach it to that to make to show that yes, they are really sponsoring you. And guys, another thing I didn't talk about is the location of the school you are applying to. Okay, location is very, very important. In US here, we have the rural settings and we have the urban settings. Urban settings have a lot of opportunities for internship, they have opportunities for job, but then they are very expensive. So when you're applying to these schools, ask yourself, can I live in the urban setting, or it's better I live in the rural communities? Rural communities don't have a lot of like opportunities for internships and all those kind of stuff, but then they are less expensive. So ask yourself where you want to stay. If you are staying in California, you can be paying house rent around 1,000, and that same room you may get it in somewhere rural Georgia for 500. So please weigh your options before you start your application process. The amount of money you spend in in New York is not the same amount of money that you'll be spending in rural Florida or West Virginia. So all these are factors that you should be looking at before you start your application process. What other question is here? Do I have to do evaluation before the start of the application? So what happens is that you need to know the kind of school you are applying to and if they need an evaluation before. So it depends on the school you are applying to. If the school wants you to upload your unofficial transcript, yeah, you can go ahead and upload that. It doesn't matter, they are going to take it. But then if they tell you to do an evaluation, then the things you should be asking yourself is that, will my university back home be able to produce the application on time? How long is it going to take? How long is whoosh. Let me just mute this person. How long is it going to take them to send my application to for it to be evaluated? If you ask yourself those questions and you feel like they are going to send it on time, then you can go ahead and do that. But if you feel they're not going to send it on time, the best thing is to apply to schools that accept unofficial transcript. Please, can I attach my writing? So you don't need to attach your writing samples when you are sending a code email to a professor. What you need to attach is your CV, your academic CV, and your transcript. If they want your writing sample, they are going to tell you. I remember when I was applying to schools, one person, I didn't add my CV, my writing sample. So later on, she told me to send her my writing sample, which I did. So you have to wait. If they want your writing sample, they will tell you that send it over to them. For fully funded scholarship, must one secure supervisor before. So there are different ways of getting funding, okay? One of them is that when you put in a good application, your admissions letter will come with funding. Another way is that you get the admissions, later on you apply for a graduate assistantship or a teaching assistantship or a research assistantship, or all the assistantship that we can see over here. Over here, they tell you the graduate assistantships available. So you read about it. Let's say you want to apply for this assistantship, right? Sorry, it came as a letter, so I cannot open that. Let me see. They are all. So let's say you apply for an assistantship. As you can see, there are different ones there. You read about them. When you feel like you are okay with this one, you apply to them. So they can come with your admission letter, or you can get your admission, then later on you apply for the assistantship. Then the other way is you send a professor an email. That should be like months before even the application portal is open. So for example, you want to go to school next year, 2025, August 2025. Then you should start sending a cold email around June this year. That's when you're going to have a higher chance of getting funding. So you send your code emails this year. You tell the professor that I want to come to school next year. I would like to work with you. Do you have a space in your lab? At least if you've not sent emails, you'll be sending around 50 to 60 emails before you get some positive response. If you are lucky, your first email, you get a positive response. If you are not, you send like 50, 70, 100 emails before you can get one. So you have to start early. If that is what you want, if you want to work with a professor, then you have to start early. Oh, study gap. So study gap is not an issue, okay? You schooled in 2005. That was when you graduated. And now you want to go back for a master's or a PhD program. What you need to do is that in your CV, you should talk about the experience you've gained. What are the things that you've done since you completed school? Are you working? Are you putting your academics or your bachelor's in use? What have you been doing? You talk about those things in your CV, the skills that you have gathered. You talk about all of them. And then in your statement of purpose, as I said, that is where you have to tell them, you have to defend yourself. Your statement of purpose should defend you because you are not there to defend yourself. So in your statement of purpose, you tell them why this long gap, what you've been doing, and why you feel this is the time you want to go and study for this program. It's as simple as that. If you studied in 2025, there's still a chance for you to get admissions. I mean, I know someone over here who is in his 40s, late 40s, and he's doing his master's. It's all about what you told the admissions committee and what you've been doing. If let's say you studied in 2025, 2005, and you've not done any work, you've not done anything to improve upon your skills, you've not done anything, you are, excuse me to say, housewife, or you are doing something else, you cannot defend. But then you should have a reason, an explanation why that gap is there. And that is where your skills and your experience come into play. And in saying that, let's say with your CV, right, you are a nurse, but then after school you are working as a sales girl or a sales agent, something which is not related to what you studied. Please don't put it on your CV. Put only things that are related to what you are studying. Genesis, I don't understand your question. What if you are looking to have funding from a scholarship body or agency like Empower? How do you present it to you? So if you are looking to get funding from Empower, there's no need to put it in your statement, okay? There's no need for that. If they give you the admissions, you have the admissions and everything, you send it to Empower and they do that. But the only thing here is that you should know if the school you are applying to have work this in agreement with Empower. If they don't have an agreement with Empower, you cannot go to that school. Yeah, your recommendation letter can come from your previous employer. Okay, somebody who can speak of your abilities. It can be previous or present, it doesn't matter. Yes, Emiliana, I think you want to say something.
No, I already asked. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Your hand is still up. Your recommendation letter can come from somebody who you even did internship, or like a manager where you did your internship. Your recommendation letter can come from them. It's valid, okay? You did the internship, you did your national service over there. Yeah, they can recommend you for admissions. Sorry about that, Paul. We will have it on YouTube, so you can watch everything that we've done so far. Any more question, guys? Please, I post a lot of application fee waivers, and I'm not saying I want reactions from it, but guys, try and attend these programs. You are going to get them. It's not fake. I post a lot of them, and I see that people don't really respond to that a lot. try your best. This time around, there are schools that will be giving waivers the whole month, a week, 1 day. Just gather all your documents and get ready to start that process. Because if you don't start, then it means that you're going to be paying for them. Okay, let me see. Any more questions?
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, and please, concerning the writing sample.
Yeah.
How do you go about it? Are we supposed to submit our entire work, or how do you go about it, please?
So I applied to a school and they said it should be 10 pages, okay? And the writing sample I had was around 72 pages. So
Okay.
it means that you have to talk about the relevant issues. You know how thesis is done. Your introduction,
Yeah.
your literature review, your methods and all those things. So you have to make sure that, let's say, all these prompts are 10 prompts, right? You have to make sure that at
No,
least
okay.
for every topic is going to take 1 page plus your
No, okay.
reference letters, okay? So
Yeah.
all in all, you are getting 1 page for every topic. So at the end of the day,
Oh,
you
okay.
have 10 pages. So it depends on the kind of school you're applying to and the
Excellent.
requirement.
Oh,
If
okay.
they want 10 pages, it has to be 10 pages. If they want 5 pages, it has to be 5 pages. It's just about cutting everything short.
No, okay. Like summarizing the whole thing.
Very good.
No, okay. Thank you.
So this
Okay.
empowering,
Question.
it comes. Okay,
Yeah.
Oba, ask a question. I'll answer Genesis later.
Okay. So I noticed I was equally applying to certain schools, and I noticed that most of them would have on their slots for prior to admission, they have on there to provide your financial statement and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you happen to already let's say not be in a situation where you can afford it, but like as I equally put it in my question, if you have agencies or groups or scholarship bodies that are willing to give you a scholarship for the said program prior, even though you've not gained admission, how do you present a statement in that direction?
So what you need to do is that you get a statement from the sponsoring body. Okay, you tell them that this is the situation. You need a statement to add up to your application. So they are going to write a statement stating that yes, we are going to sponsor this person with this amount for a period of this time as they are studying in your school, and then they add like their accounts or their assets, or the kind of assets that they are going to use to support you would be added to the statement with their signature. Then you send it over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it means that you would have to secure a go ahead from these agencies before you do your application. Yes.
Yes. So sometimes you have to get you have to create the accounts, do all those things with them, and let them understand that you need to do this. So if they find that they see that you are qualified for them to sponsor you, then the next thing will be that they were going to attach that letter to your admission, so that the body or the admissions committee is going to know that yeah, this person already has somebody who is going to sponsor their education.
Thank you.
Um, this naira dollar issue is a big one. I think what you need to do is that you find somebody who is already in the States who is willing to take your naira, because it's fluctuating all the time and nobody wants to get involved in that. And one thing that you guys should know is that everything that we pay here, it comes with tax. So you will say 237, but the person paying will have to pay tax on their card. So you need to ask them how much is the tax that you are going to pay so that you can add it to the fee. Some people don't want to add, so nobody is willing to take it. So please ask them this dollar and naira issue. So when it comes to Empower, okay, it's dicey. It's dicey in the sense that some people would have just Empower as their sponsor, but then they've been working for like 10 years and they don't even have any money to their name. Somebody is going to sponsor your education, but then what do you have in addition to sponsor yourself? So it depends on the funds that you have and the funds that Empower is willing to support you with. It's kind of like any more question? Do we have any more questions? Okay.
Okay, Dorcas, I would equally want to find out, some programs are professional related, right? If you want your, whether MA or MSc or here in the States, doctor of whatnot, if you would want to do those professional programs, I would want to find out if you would still have to adhere to using an academic CV, or you would equally have to present both CVs, that's a professional CV and then your academic. Because most of the time, the academic CV, yes, you would have a slot or a space to tell what you've been doing, but it doesn't really, just as you said, you put about 4 of your chore or 4 of your the things you do on the regular. In But with a professional CV, you would notice that you are more in depth and you have a lot of what you do there. Which one is most likely or most preferable when it comes to posting, applying for professional degrees?
So when you apply for professional degrees, like let's say Doctor of Medicine practice or Doctor of Dietitian or anything, then you have to use your professional CV. And one of the things that should be stated on it is the kind of licensing or professional boards that you belong to.
Okay.
It's very important that you state them on it. So in professional degrees, it's always your professional CV that you need to do. But then if you are going for masters like Master of Public Health, Master of Science, all those kind of masters, then you need to produce an academic CV to them.
Okay. No.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I don't think we have any more questions. Does anybody have? I don't see any hand up anymore. So I'm assuming that all the questions are done. Please try to attend all the webinars I post. You are going to get your application fee waived. Then you apply. And also, you can send admissions committee the graduates coordinators email every single day. Ask questions. When you ask questions, you will know more. If you don't ask, you are not going to know anything. Send them an email. If you don't understand anything, shoot an email to them. They are going to reply you. Okay. I'm listening.
Okay, so Lucas, I would want to find out if your consult is equally into doing these applications on behalf of people at a fee. Yes, as a consult, I know that most consults or most agencies go that tangent, but I noticed on Facebook you've been doing a lot. You've been posting and encouraging people to apply, and you take time to respond to people. Is your consult equally into that, so that some of us who have a lot on our hands can equally do some payment and take a breather, or you're not into that at all?
So I'm into that. I have two types of services that I provide. I either do the application. There are people that, as you said, they don't have the time to do the applications by themselves. So they want you to do it for them on their behalf. Then you go through with them at the end of the day. If they are satisfied, then they are going to we will submit it and wait for admissions committee to decide. And also there are others that want to do it by themselves, but they want help. They want you to help them throughout the process, like writing a statement of purpose, writing sample, like you reviewing their writing sample, writing an academic CV, and all those kind of stuff. So I also help people in that direction. If you want me to assist you in your application, we go through it every day. You sometimes they even give me their email address or their password and username so that we go through the process together. So it's a service that I provide. If you are interested, you can send me message on Messenger. We will talk more about that.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much.
Welcome. So I post a lot about all kinds of program, okay? All kinds of program. I post about them and all kinds of schools. If I get them, I'll post every day. I'm searching so that I can help everyone. I hope that I can provide help for everyone. So just be looking on my Facebook page. You will see that I post about business administrator, business management, um, nursing, all programs. Just check out on my page. Some of them I post, nobody reacts. So if you if you are glued to my page, you will see that there's a lot that I post about these things. And guys, you guys can also search for them by yourselves. You can use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very powerful tool to use to search for these kinds of application fee waiver and PhD opportunities and other opportunities. You can search through LinkedIn. You'll find a lot of them. Okay. I don't think we have any more questions. I wish you guys all the best. I'm hoping that a lot of people will apply for Georgia Southern and any other programs that we post. I wish you all the best. And
Hello, everyone. Last question, please.
okay.
Please, as I told you earlier on, I'm a nurse. Can I get a school without writing IELTS?
So IELTS is mostly written for Canadian schools. Okay. It's written, when it comes to US schools, what you need to do is that you need to produce either a GRE. And since the COVID-19 time, they've let me try and mute you. Unmute you. Can you unmute yourself? I cannot find you. Okay, I found you. So since the COVID-19 era, since it happened, a lot of schools have waived that, with the exception of certain courses. So, for example, if you are studying for public health, they've waived the GRE for most schools. But then in the same school, you may be going to study mathematics or computer engineering, AI, then you have to write GRE. But if you want to study in Canada, most schools are asking for IELTS. Yes, you can switch to educational courses if you have computer science background. It's all about stating why you are switching. It's all about stating the reason why you are switching from computer science to education. Maybe you taught a few people or you did some practical somewhere and now you felt like teaching is good for you. That's why you are switching. So you just need to state it. Okay. And you need to have some experience. It can be voluntary experience or it can be professional experience or internship that made you think that you can study for educational courses. And public health is also a place that everybody can come to, okay? No matter where you are, no matter the kind of degree you have, you can study for public health. Emmanuel, I'm listening.
Hello. Good evening. Please, I want to ask in regards to, I am in a business field. I did my degree in business management and then my MBA in logistics and supply. I wanted to find out with the career perspectives over there in regards to the supply, because like ideally, naturally, I just like business. I wanted to actually, I've gotten admission in Canada now through the college, 1 year certificate. It's just a means of me going out, traveling out. But with their new policies, I'm kind of stuck. I don't know whether there's a certificate courses like that, maybe a year like that in US as well. Beside the masters.
So the thing is, with certificate courses, they are hardly funded here. Okay, you have to provide your own funding for them.
Okay.
So if you are coming in, know that as a student, you are allowed to work 20 hours per week. And there is no way that that 20 hours can support your fund, your schooling, then your house rent and your feeding. You cannot do that.
Okay.
So if you already have a master's, the advice I would give you is that try and get a PhD program, because most PhD programs in the US are fully funded.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Most of them are fully funded.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you are willing to start the PhD program, then you have to start your application somewhere in June. You have to start sending cold emails and telling professors that you are interested in their work, you want to work with them. So you get like you wet that ground first, then you start your application. The application portal will open, I think, somewhere in September. Then you can start the process. But if you want to come with certificates, funding is limited. I don't even think you get funding for certificates.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Lilia.
And thank you, Ma. Please, I wanted to ask, in the Georgia Southern University, which column can I find the recommendation? Because I can't even see it here in this application I'm kind of doing, and you clicked on it.
Yes, let me go back and see. So I'm sharing this tab. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, you can see my cursor moving, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so when you look at this side, before the ANA code, so it's in between the program you're applying to and the ANA code, you can see recommendations.
Okay, it's not displaying here.
Maybe you have to refresh it, or you the different accounts.
Okay, thank you.
Or sometimes, so what program are you applying to? What program?
MBA.
MBA. Okay, it could be that they may ask for the recommendation after you've done the application. So it depends, actually.
Okay. Okay, Ma. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, guys, I think we are done for the day. All the best. Please again, it's free application month, a whole month. Try and apply to the schools that I'm talking about, especially to Georgia Southern. The acceptance rate is 98%, meaning that if 20 people apply to this school, at least 18%, 18 of the people would be accepted. That's what it means. If you apply to a school that the acceptance rate is 3%, if 100 people apply to the school, it's only 3 people that they are going to accept. That's what it means. So Georgia Southern has a higher acceptance rate, and it's also a free application month. So try and apply. Most of their programs come with funding. If you don't get funding from your admissions letter, you can get funding from applying to any of the available assistantships as I showed you. All right. All the best. Happy New Week. There's another question on Facebook. Please let me just answer this one. I have MSc in Information Management Technology, and I want to apply for Masters in Cybersecurity. Okay, so what is your GPA? That is the first question. And is your GPA enough to take you through a PhD program or an MSc program? And what schools are you applying to? And what is the requirement? Do you need to write GRE? You have to ask those questions before you start the application. But let's say you have a good GPA and you are not required to write GRE, then you can apply for a master's program because that's where there will be a lot of funding. Emiliana, are you asking any other question?
No.
Okay. All right, everyone. Happy New Week. I wish you all the best in your endeavors. God bless you. Bye-bye. Welcome.
Bye. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Bye.